Hello and welcome. This is Property Hotline on India's first property channel, Magic Bricks Now. I'm Kavita Krishnan and we are answering all your questions related to buying, selling or investing in real estate with Jayashree Kurup today. Jayashree is the head of content and research at magicbricks.com. Jayashree, welcome to the show. Jayashree, we've joined by a first caller.
Thank you, Kavita.
Right. So, Jayashree, our first caller for the evening has joined us on the line. Mr. Roy Chaudhary is called in from Delhi. How can we help you, Mr. Roy Chaudhary?
Gore Sons, and which is known by the name Gore City 2, 12th Avenue. Now, I am holding this property for more than 3.5 years, and actually the property prices have fallen. I have completed 95% of the payment, and 5% payment is still due. My question is, shall I hold on to this property or shall I sell it? And if I hold it for the next couple of years, what is my expected appreciation?
Right. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, how much did you buy this property in? Because I'm asking you this because you just said that prices have fallen. So, how much did you buy this property for and what is the current price?
The property, the contract price is 50,60,000 rupees. But if you want to sell the property, you will get a far lesser price than what I have paid. And unfortunately, the builder is also selling the property at a lower price, which is amounting to something around 46 lakh rupees. So on the face value of it, I'm a straight loser of 4 to 4.5 lakh rupees. Number one. Number two, I cannot sell the property until I register it. And registration fee is 3.5 lakh rupees. So my total loss is 7.5 to 8 lakh rupees on the property in the last 3.5 years. So I want your suggestion. Shall I hold on to the property or sell it and keep it on rent in the meantime? That's my basic question.
Right. Jayashree, what do you suggest he does? Because this is a problem in some areas of the NCR market. Prices have not really moved in the last couple of years.
Does Mr. Roy Chaudhary need the money for currently, or is he just exiting because the values have dropped?
Mr. Roy Chaudhary, can you answer that question?
Yes, I'm answering that question. I'm not hard dying for the money. I can hold it if I want to.
Okay, so he's not hard pressed for the money. He can hold if necessary. What he wants to know is whether there is any value left, whether there will be any benefit from holding on to this.
Not hard pressed to sell the property.
Yeah. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, it's like this. It's a good property that you have invested in. It's a township project. It's the second part of the Gore City. The first was Gore City. This is Gore City 2. These are IGBC rated green buildings, and these are well developed townships. It's been designed by a Singapore-based consultant. The urban planning has been done, and it was brought under the to match the affordable expectations of the consumers. Now, across the Delhi NCR, we have seen that there have been many reasons why the projects have been delayed. In some cases, it was because of a land policy. There has been many policy pushes as well, which push the property back. I would say that you're still holding a good property, and if you sell it today, like you said, you're going to lose some 7.5 lakhs. But going forward, this is a property that has much better prospects, and I think across Greater Noida, what you're going to see, or Greater Noida West as it's called, what you're going to see is that township projects will perform better, gated communities are going to do better. And there are two reasons why I'm telling you to hold the property. One is that there is the metro line is working, is getting constructed, and the work is going on full steam. Once the metro project is complete, Greater Noida's accessibility to the rest of Noida and to Delhi is going to be significantly better. You will, even when you hold the property and wait for the leverage value to go up, you'll get much better rental values. So I would say that, you're holding a property from a good developer who has an intent to deliver. They have been regularly delivering their projects. So I would say, hold your horses. If you don't need that money, don't exit in a hurry. Hold your property, hold your investment, and I think it will do much better.
Right, hold on to your investment over there, and in any case, once you get possession of the property, prices will see a bump up. And like like Jayashree just told you, there is a chance of good rental returns as well in the interim when you actually hold on to the property, because connectivity is improving. A metro is coming up over there. A lot of things going for that particular property, that particular location. Makes sense to hold on since you've anyway stayed invested for so long, right? Hope we've answered your question there. Let's move on and take an email query next. Jayashree, Ankur has written in and he says that he owns a flat in Yashwant Nagar, Virar West. Now he wants to relocate to Malad East and he wants to know what are the current rates and future prospects for both these markets. So he's at least doing one thing right over here. He's moving from Virar West to Malad East, because if he were to try to move to Malad West, that would have been quite an expensive move over there. Even then, he would have to pay a little out of his pocket, right?
Absolutely. Okay, Kavita, it's like this. When he exits his property from Virar, he's going to get about 40. He hasn't given me the size of the property, but I would assume that he'll get about 38-40 lakh for that property. And when he goes to Malad East, he's going to, even though it is cheaper than Malad West, you're still going to be have to pay at least 1.1 to 1.3 for a 2 BHK, and between 1.3 and about anything upwards of that for a 3 BHK. Now in Virar, he holds a 3 BHK. If he moves to Malad West, and he will have to pay more than double for his 2 BHK. If he wants a 3 BHK, it's significantly higher. So I'm sure he knows that he's moving to a more expensive area. In Virar, we haven't seen values go up at all. In Malad, we have seen a 20% growth in values in the past 4 years.
Okay, you've seen prices go up in the last 4 years in Malad East. However, staying with the Malad East market, now we know that the Malad West market has done very well. What about the Malad East market? Is it relatively lower priced as compared to the Malad West market? Are you seeing more value over here?
Yes, I actually see that there is it is priced about 15-20% lower than Malad West, and the values have been rising. So clearly, some things are going well for that market, which is why the values are rising. Its connectivity seems to be a big factor, and I think it is in the consumer radar right now.
Okay, Malad East market on the consumer radar. Connectivity is improving over there. So good pick over there, but be prepared to pay almost double of what you would get, just from more than double, in fact, of what you would get from selling your flat, current flat that you're holding in Virar West. We have Prakash's question now. He's calling in from Delhi. Prakash, how can we help you?
Yeah, you see, I have a plot in Mysore in a place called as State Bank of Mysore Layout. It is a plot of Mysore Urban Development Authority, and I want to know whether this is the right time to buy and what price I can expect for this. Am I clear in my question?
Yes, you are. You have a plot in Mysore, and you want to. I'm not sure about what you said. You said that you want to buy. Is this the right time to buy, you said?
No. I have a plot purchased, and I would like to know whether this is the right time to sell it. And if I sell it, what is the price that I can expect?
Okay, so should he sell this plot in Mysore that he's holding? Is it the right time?
Right now, what I would be able to see is that this is not an actively traded area. It's on the ring road, but it's on the periphery of Mysore. And right now, there is not much demand in that area. So even if you go out to sell, I don't see too many users looking for plots in that area. I would say that right now, because the markets are weak, and two, that particular market is not very hot, I think you will have to wait for some more time before you can get a good return on that property.
Jayashree, are you seeing any economic driver coming into the market? Anything that will, probably boost the prospects of this location? How long do you expect? How long would you advise him to hold on to this particular plot?
You know, Kavita, the Mysore market has not been a very hot market right now. And considering that even the Bangalore market has slowed down, you will have to wait for at least another 2 to 3 years before this market rises. And I don't see any new economic drivers coming into this area. We did check, it is actually on the periphery. And unless there was an economic hub, like a manufacturing hub or an IT hub coming up there, I don't see how that market is suddenly going to come up. So right now, I think the best thing to do would be to hold that investment and wait till the markets come up. Even if the national markets come up, and if the Bangalore market starts doing well, that's when the investors will be back. And I think your best bet will be to sell to investors. I don't see end users buying in that market right now.
Right, Mysore was expected to essentially benefit from the, from the IT development, from the development of the IT sector, just as a spillover effect from Bangalore, but that has not really happened. So you will need to hold on to your investment for some more time, at least 2 to 3 years. Give some time for the markets to turn around, and then you'll probably see some investors coming into the market to pick up that plot of yours. Up next, we have Saurabh Chauhan, who's written in through our website, www.mbnow.in. Now, Saurabh says that he's planning to buy a 2 BHK flat in Pune for end use. He has a budget of 50 to 55 lakh rupees. He's looking at locations such as Kharadi, Mundwa and Keshav Nagar. He's a first-time buyer and wants to buy a property which is either ready to move in or will be ready by the end of the year. He wants us to suggest projects here. Sadly, Jayashree, he's not given us that one piece of information that you keep asking all buyers for, which is where is his place of work. However, purely from the point of view of how these markets are doing, which would you recommend to him, Keshav Nagar, Mundwa or Kharadi?
In Kharadi, you see well-known developers building, and there's a lot of stock in the Kharadi market. You will be able to get about 800 to 1200 square feet apartment there. Mundwa and Keshav Nagar, you have to be a little more careful, because though these are very actively developed and people are searching in these markets, most of the developers are much smaller developers and local developers. So since they are first-time buyers, I think there are some pieces of advice that I would like to give. First of all, go to the website magicbricks.com, put your requirement and check out what properties you get. Now see which one suits you the best. The second thing to do is check out who the developers are and check out the backgrounds of the developers. You can do that by plugging into internet conversations, what are other people saying about those developments. You can also come to the forum.magicbricks.com and you can post your queries. We will be only too happy to answer those queries about which project, how much does it cost and all that. We also give you on the site what is the value of the of properties in that locality. Because you're first time buyers, I think it's important that you understand what the locality values are and what property you are buying, how well it matches with what the locality values are. And more than anything else, take a loan so that the bank does its due diligence and you can write that due diligence. Check out the legal title and the approvals are in place.
Right. And let me just give you a quick wrap over here, Saurabh. Since you're looking to buy as an end user, you're a first-time buyer. This is what Jayashree essentially told you about the markets over there. Kharadi, established location as opposed to Keshav Nagar and Mundwa, where the location is still developing, the market is still developing over there. Also, Kharadi is closer to the IT hub. So if you are a professional, IT professional working in Pune, then probably Kharadi is a better bet for you. Also, more reputed developers, reputed developments in Kharadi. So you will probably be playing safe if you go with this market. Those are the prices for you. 6,305 rupees per square foot is what Kharadi is averaging at. My team will put up the prices for Keshav Nagar in a bit. I believe the market is priced at least 1,000 rupees lower at around 5,565 rupees per square foot over there for you. So both Keshav Nagar and Mundwa, newer markets, one that you will have to take a bet on. Mundra over there, 5,666 rupees per square foot. Cheaper, of course, but you'll be paying an extra 1,000 rupees per square foot in Kharadi for, that is the price of development. It's a developed, established market, more reputed developers. So those are the choices that you have. Those are the factors that you need to consider when you make your decision. With that, time for a short break on Property Hotline. But we'll be back with Jayashree Kurup to answer more questions related to buying, selling and investing in property. You keep those questions coming in. Welcome back. This is Property Hotline with me, Kavita Krishnan. We are answering all your questions related to buying, selling and investing in property. Nanda Kumar has dialed in from Bengaluru. Go ahead, Nanda Kumar, ask, what's your question? How can we help you?
That is in Chennai, in Kodambakam and West Mambalam area. To buy an apartment, what is the rate, per square feet rate?
Kodambakam and West Mambalam area, what is the per square foot rate currently in Chennai?
Currently for apartments.
For an apartment. Jayashree?
I can see that around Kodambakam there are apartments there, and mostly the plotted developments that are being redeveloped. So if he does come to the site and check it out, I think we will be able to get a lot more options even in Kodambakam. In West Mambalam, he would have spent about 80 lakh to about 1.3 crore. In Kodambakam is much more expensive. The minimum I can see is about 1.4 crore to about 1.9 crore.
Right,
so he does have options.
So he does have options in Kodambakam as well. So here's what you can do, Nanda Kumar. You can go and actually, go out in the market, look at the options available, make a shortlist, come back to us, and we'll help you narrow it down further. Right? We have Grishma now, who's called in from Mumbai. Grishma, how can we help you?
Yeah, hi. I am Grishma from Mumbai. My question is, I want to invest 30 to 35 lakh of rupees with a view of 5 to 7 years.
Okay.
Please help me to suggest which place and project that I should invest in. I have seen places like Panvel, Mira Road, Boisar and Palava.
Any particular projects you have identified in these locations, Grishma?
No, not exactly. I actually want to first narrow down on the place and then I would further go down and look for the project. I basically want to understand the market which will give higher returns out of these 4 places.
So you've looked at Panvel, Boisar, Palava and what was the last market?
Mira Road.
Mira Road. Okay. So she has a budget of 25 to 30 lakhs, an investment horizon of 5 to 7 years. Which among these 4 markets will give her the best returns?
Is it pure investment?
It's pure investment, yeah.
Okay, I think the way you should look at it is like this. I think Panvel, I'll give you my personal preference. I think there are reasons why I would support Panvel right now. The rates are still, it's an early stage market, the rates are low and there are many drivers that are coming, especially large infrastructure drivers, and therefore I think that in terms of the rate, once it reaches the growth cycle, which one will give you the best returns? Personally, I think it will be Panvel. But Mira Road has not, it's already reached a level where I think if you buy today, you may not be able to get a huge rise in values in the next few years. I think Mira Road, we haven't seen that much traction happening as far as investments go. There is Boisar, I've seen is more from the end user perspective. The kind of demand that has come has been from the end user perspective. So if you buy in Boisar, you will also get a steady rental return because I can see end user consumer demand coming in Boisar. What was the 4th area you asked for?
She asked about Palava.
Palava has a lot of apartments coming up, so it's an oversupplied market in the next few years, which means that the rate of return that you will get may not be as high as maybe Panvel. Panvel will be earlier, and you may have to hold a little more than 7 years. But if the drivers kick in, Panvel is the one I would back in all these four.
Right. So, Grishma, let me just run you through very quickly what Jayashree said. These are how the markets stack up. Panvel is her top pick. Jayashree says that Panvel is a market which is at an early stage, which means it still makes sense to enter this market. There is still some growth left over here. 5,933 rupees is what Panvel is averaging at. Plus, you should expect a decent bump up coming here in prices, purely because of the infrastructure development that is coming in. We know that there is a lot happening. There is an airport, there is a Trans-Harbour link coming, the port is going to be developed, the station is going to be developed. So there's a lot happening over here in this market. Mira Road has already peaked, averaging around 7,733 rupees. And frankly, 5,000 rupees per square foot is what Jayashree and all other experts have kept telling us on this channel is the sweet spot if you're looking to invest in real estate in the country. Boisar, again, an end-user market. You can expect steady rentals over there. And Palava is an oversupplied market, which is also averaging the same price like Panvel. So net, Panvel should be a better bet if you are looking at it from a pure investment point of view. Right. So, Grishma, I hope we've answered your question over there. Is there anything else that you would want to ask?
I actually can continue. I mean, I need to ask that in Boisar, I have seen a project called Tata. It's coming up, the Tata Phase 2. And in Panvel, I have seen a project of Hiranandani. Anything that you can help me on?
Okay, so she's actually gone out and in the market and looked at projects. Hiranandani in Panvel and Tata New Haven in Boisar.
Yeah.
So since you're going with Panvel, I think you'll be picking Hiranandani? Jayashree?
Yes, I think so. If you go into a market like that, pick the one that tends to outperform the rest of the market. Hiranandani in Mumbai, ATS in Delhi. These are groups whose projects have consistently outperformed the rest of the locality. So if you buy into those localities, you will get a slightly higher return than the rest of the market. Another thing that I have seen is that you will get a slightly smaller unit when it comes to the Hiranandani rather than the Tata housing, which is the much more affordable housing. But you will probably see that the Hiranandani will give you better returns. Now that Tata doesn't give good returns, it's a good developer. So my preference would be for Panvel, and within Panvel, if you're go for a good developer like Hiranandani.
Right, Grishma, Panvel, and within Panvel, go for the Hiranandani development. Right? That's all the time we have on today's episode of Property Hotline. Thank you very much, Jayashree, for coming in and answering all those questions. If you have any questions related to real estate, if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in property, you have questions regarding legal issues, taxes related to property, or home finance questions, get in touch with us. Contact details flashing on the screen. You can also personally tweet to me. I'll ensure that each and every question that you send in gets answered. Keep watching Magic Bricks Now.
You can watch live TV on our website mpnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at Magic Bricks Now. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.